call the meeting to order. Ask Dr. Deegan to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay, this evening we have our Eisenhower High School Stuco students who are going to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Call the roll, please.
Mr. Jester?
Here.
Ms. Blockfelder?
Here.
Ms. Nyworth?
Here.
Ms. Edwards?
Here.
Dr. Bridges?
Here.
Colonel King?
Here.
Do we have any special guests tonight?
We do. We have Miss Dana Bross with her Stuco, and they're going to talk about their philanthropy group. So I'll hand it over to Miss Bross.
Thanks for letting us come. I'm Dana Ross. I'm the Activities Director at Eisenhower and the Student Council Advisor. I'm honored and privileged that I'm able to work with such smart, talented, dedicated, selfless young adults. Last year, we started philanthropy called Beak Week. This is a student-driven project. I will turn it over to them. They're going to speak to you, but I want to introduce them to you. I have Mariah Malloy. She's the student body secretary and chairman for Spirit and Publicity of Beak Week. Lily Markham is the senior class secretary and is on assemblies for Beak Week. Libby High is the junior class vice president and co-chair of decorations for Beak Week. Bakley Marco is junior class delegate and co-chair of all the assemblies. And Matthew Roberts is our student body president, and he is the chair of Beak Week. And he is going to explain our philanthropy, what we do, and how we achieve our goals. So thanks again for letting us be here. Matthew?
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys tonight to discuss a topic that's very important to me that we've been working on since August. My name is Matthew Roberts. I'm the student body president at Eisenhower High School, as well as the chair for Beak Week. We started Beak Week last year. It was our very first year. We went through a rough patch with all the activities last year, but we pulled out strong. But this year, we put in our minds that we are going to make this the best Beak Week yet. We do several fundraisers throughout the year to raise money. On February 18th, we will begin our Beak Week, and then we will end it on the 22nd. You guys might be wondering what BEAK stands for, but it stands for Building Empathy and Kindness. We chose this because we are the Eisenhower Eagles, so it kind of linked together. Every year, we pick a foundation in Lawton, Oklahoma to donate our proceeds to. This year, we chose the Carter Crane Homeless Shelter in Lawton, Oklahoma. Our goal this year is to donate $25,000 to the shelter to help them continue all the great things that they do for our community. Leading up to Beak Week, we've hosted several fundraisers. It takes a lot to make $25,000. So once a month, we sell food during our lunch. This is a great way we bring money in. The students love food, so. In November, we hosted our Powder Puff tournament. It was great to see all the girls play football. It was between two teams at our school. This was a fun way to help raise money. A lot of the kids really enjoyed it. This month, we will be having our annual Mr. EHS contest. It's the boy version of a pageant. It's pretty funny to see. Each contestant will raise $500 to enter the contest, and the top 5 that raise the most money are the ones that will compete. This is one of the events that brings in the most money for Beak Week. We get thousands of dollars. During the week, we also have several fun events planned out during the Beak Week. It helps us raise more money, and it spreads awareness for the need of community service. On Monday during Beak Week, we don't have school, so the student council members decided that we're going to have a great day with a Parents' Day Out, playing with little kids from elementary school. So we have our hands full, but we're ready. For that day, we're going to have several fun gym activities, like I'm bringing back some old fun gym games from my elementary school years that I want to pass down to the little kids. We're going to have face paint, watch a fun movie, eat a great lunch, and then we're going to have some free time at the end of the day for the students to mingle amongst themselves. That night, we are also having a fundraiser at Solaces. They are donating 15% of sales to Eisenhower Beak Week, and we're putting that towards our grand total. On Tuesdays, when we kick off our week, that's when all the fun happens. We have our opening assembly. It's basically we have several fun events planned for the assembly. Our goal is to get every student equally involved and to have the same amount of enjoyment as the student council members do. During lunch that day, we are selling Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, so it's a big hit at our school. This is another way that we bring money in from the students to donate. After school, we are planning on having a skate night and laser tag night at LOL. This is a fun event. It's fun seeing all the high schoolers get together and skate and play laser tag. For this event, we're charging $5 if you just want to skate, or $5 for laser tag, but if you want to do both, we're charging $7. On Wednesday, we are starting off our morning with a guest speaker, Tyler Durman. At our Student Council State Convention this year in November, he was one of the guest speakers, and his speeches are phenomenal. They move people. Tyler speaks to many schools across the United States and Canada and has written several books. He is a dynamic speaker that touches on hope and how to change your perspective regardless of your circumstances. It touches deep because he talks about how if you're in a rough patch that you can always work forward to being a better and stronger person. Having Tyler Durman come to Lawton will benefit all 3 high schools, grades 9th through 12th. In addition, he will also do an evening session for anyone that wants to come in the community to hear him speak. I will definitely be at both of them because I'm telling you, you're going to want to hear him twice. In addition, or as Ms. Bross says, Lawton students deserve and need to hear him. His speech, it's just moving. His message does make a difference, and it is so important for young adults to make a difference, and it's so important for them to hear these powerful motivational speakers. I feel like some of them don't hear them enough. His message does make a difference, and it is so important for young adults to hear the positivity. We are incredibly grateful that the Terry Bell Foundation gave us the money to have Tyler come. I remember as soon as we heard him, all the student council members were like, Tyler needs to come speak at our school. And we were so lucky and blessed that we received the money from the Terry Bell Foundation. Also on Wednesday during lunch, we are selling tacos to the students. Tacos, who doesn't love a taco? After school, we are planning on doing a Sonic Drive-In fundraiser. We are planning on running the food, and we are able to keep the tips to put towards our goal. On Thursday, we are selling pizza at lunch to the students, and during 5th hour, we are having a Miracle Minute to help raise money. For those of you who don't know what a Miracle Minute is, basically Ms. Bross makes an announcement. Each teacher has an envelope. We start the minute, students donate the money, and then after the minute's over, the student council members go to each classroom and collect the envelopes. After the student councils go collect the envelopes, we're spending all that time counting all the money and counting up our money that all we've raised to put toward or for our closing assembly, which is Friday morning. On Friday, we are having the closing ceremony where we reveal our total and fill the room with happiness. Beak Week is something that is very personal to me because I view that is very important to bring the school together. My motto that I chose for this year at school is United We Soar. I view that if each student comes together that we can reach these high goals that we set for ourselves. I also believe that it is important to support our community. Our community raised us, so I believe that it's our turn to give back to the community. We are also selling our Beak Week shirts. We're selling them up at the school. They're $15. They're really soft. I recommend you guys get one. I'm obsessed with t-shirts, so of course I had to get one. Again, I want to thank all of you again for letting me come out and talk about something that's very personal to me. It was a great experience. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. Thank you again. And the very last question.
Yeah, we need the dates.
The dates, it starts on February 18th and ends on the 22nd.
Okay, but what, like, Solace's was what night?
Solace is on the first day, the 18th.
If you would get that scheduled to Denise, she can send it to all
Yeah,
of us.
just send it to us because, yeah.
All right.
So that we can hit those money events.
Does anyone have any questions for me?
So do you guys come up with the fundraiser ideas on your own, and do you contact the businesses for the donations?
Yes.
All of that on your own?
We, I'm actually in a group me. It's like a chat that you can group to text with other people from other students that are the chair for their philanthropy weeks in Oklahoma. So we all like come together and we throw ideas and like share the ideas we've had. So we all like kind of like share them and like reuse them. So
That's awesome.
We
So
are- that's
other-
where we
other
also get our
districts
ideas.
around the state, you guys all share ideas?
yes.
That's wonderful. Good for you.
Yes. I'm super proud of y'all because I know you started it last year and it was great last year and it just looks like you're building on it. So that's awesome.
That was our goal this year.
Good job.
Yeah, the
Speaker?
speaker's
I really-
Wednesday, or when's the public speaker?
The public speaking, he's coming on Wednesday.
Wednesday night
Wednesday.
somewhere?
Yes.
Okay.
He'll be at
He'll
Eisenhower,
at the-
yes,
okay.
in the gym.
Everything will be with Lynn Fortis. We have a whole itinerary that we're going to.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, just,
And we'll send it.
She'll get it to
I'll
us.
have good intentions, but I won't remember.
I'll
right
remind
now.
Does anyone else have any questions?
No, thank you, you're wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Your enthusiasm is contagious.
Salas is speaker.
By the way, if you all want to hang out, you may, but you're also free to go.
Probably be a good time to vote.
Thank you, guys.
Good job,
Thank
great
you.
job.
Proud of you guys.
Feel better about, these are gonna be the young men and women, paying our social security.
That's right.
A little bit slower. I couldn't quite catch everything.
Okay, item number 5, an update on business operations and educational services. We've got a report. I guess if anyone has any questions, we've looked at the report. Okay, item 5B is an action item, proposal for global positioning system or satellite system.
Yeah, I've got a lot of questions about
I
this.
do too.
Yeah, there's a
Did y'all
lot.
discuss it last month? I wasn't
We
here.
discussed it.
Okay, I'm sorry that I have questions.
Yeah, I wasn't here either, but it's way confusing.
Okay, good.
There he is, he's a coming.
Sorry.
You're on the hot seat.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, what kind of questions do we have on this?
Go ahead, Lori. Because my first question is what's the difference? Why are we have an $88,000
Well,
difference?
I guess I'm sorry that I wasn't here last month, but I need to know, like, what are we, I know we can track the buses, but you're saying, like, we can track how the kids get on? Are we literally scanning their IDs or?
That's correct.
Okay,
There is a system called Z-Pass
right, I
that will,
see that.
that will be positioned in the bus, and when they go on it, they will scan it, and when they go off, they will scan it. That will send out a message
Okay.
to parents that gives them real-time on and off the bus.
Okay, so.
For
what's the-
route buses, it won't be
What's
for.
the backup for Johnny forgot to scan his badge?
There is a manual override. We're not going to leave anyone at the bus stops for that, but there will have to be things put in place because you can't go all year without having a scan pass. But we will put those processes, and that's something that's going to have to be discussed and put those measures in place. So,
I'll tell you, I had a parent this last month that their student, 5th grade girl, got off the bus with the 2nd grade, and this is kind of out in the country. She got off the bus after school, and they didn't find her till 7 o'clock that night. They didn't have where she was. She was freaking out. If we had this, I assume you'd immediately been able to say, this is where she got off. She got off with another student.
Sure.
And of course, there was a little,
what will happen is it will populate to that bus. That information will then come to the office as we pull it up. It will populate, for example, bus 684, 32 riders at this time, and it will give them by number and name.
And there's an app where you can see
Right.
like where the buses are.
so the
and
parent
all
could
that
have
stuff.
looked it up and
But,
seen where this
like,
kid got
is
off the
the
bus.
onus on the student? I mean, is the driver verifying that all these students? Because, I mean, this system's only as good as the data we put into it. So if
Correct.
we're not getting every kid scanned as they come on the bus or whatever.
Sure. No, I do think it's going to be a work in progress.
Okay.
I do think we're trying to pilot it. The toughest thing for us to implement right now is going to be the Z-Pass because it comes with cards. And right now, our high school is set up with the cards, but from the middle school to the elementary, those are cards that are going to have to be put in place. For March 1, we're looking at having the parental portal and the GPS units put in place. That way, parents will have, and students will have, here comes the bus app, and that way they will be able to see in real time, 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after of their route times to be able to see where things are.
So is this something that can be put onto like a ID badge?
They come into, and I don't know the correct terminology, but they have passes, and what they will do is they will scan, and we can set them up different ways with numbers, with faces. We can set them up a lot of different ways. That's something that we have in the works of how we're going to try to implement them at this point.
Have you guys looked into, can the badges and your student ID that you have to wear anyway be all rolled into one? Like, can you get the barcode on?
We
them?
100%. We have looked at all of that. What we're looking at is what will go hand in hand with the machines and stuff they already have, because we want to be able to print these in-house, because if not, you're looking at, 5,500 bus riders, and if someone loses one, we don't want to have to wait around for a month for them to be able to get a new pass and stuff. So there's a lot of things that are in motion right now, and it is a work in progress. The Z Pass is something that I do think is beneficial, but it is something that is going to take the most steps to be implemented going forward.
But prior to that, you're expecting to be able to launch in March at least with the parent portal and the knowledge of where the buses are.
That's correct. That is the date that we've set. Now, this is all dependent on how quick we can get the equipment, because we're going to do the installs and stuff, and you're looking at about 45 minutes per bus. We've put the portals, or we've put the GPS on 115 buses, of which will encompass our activity buses as well as our route buses. So there's a lot of legwork in it. We're hoping that we're going to work towards that goal to get it put in there, but as soon as we can get the equipment in, we can get our people working on it, and we're going to try to shoot for March 1 to get everything up and running as soon as possible.
And the GPS systems, do they track and report speed and stuff? back
Yes,
to you
ma'am.
as well?
There's all kinds of formats to it set up, so we can pull and look at what's posted. We can look and see what was the speed through there and things. So it's going to be a nice feature to have.
I understand the GPS part. I'm still a little confused on the Z Pass, so go ahead, and I'm gonna see if I can.
My big thing is, why do we have two different bids that are clearly not the same? I mean, usually when we bid something, we try to get two bids or more bids that they're bidding on the same thing. And we have one that's bid up clearly on something that's a lot more.
It comes with the other I assume you're talking about Diversitrans, the Tyler Technology.
I have no idea.
They came with, they're going to have the tablets that work with that. That's what they would have. What we have with the other one, the Zonar, we do not have the tablets that are included into that.
And then you just said something that was kind of concerning, because we're gonna do 6,000 passes, right? Is that what you're talking about, 6,000 badges or whatever, or 6,000 for one for each kid, I'm assuming? What are we doing with that? Which is the 6,000?
Well, that's how many, what was purchased was, we purchased enough for our bus riders that are eligible. Then we purchased some in case things are lost, because we're anticipating that we're going to have to replace these going through the year.
How many kids are in our school system?
About 14,000.
Okay, so because you said something that was kind of concerning, because you said this is going to include our activity buses. So when you did that, you also now included all of our sports kids that might not necessarily ride a bus.
The Z Pass will not be on that, because that's not going to track that. The Z Pass is a tracking. It's not going to track that, because those are not going to be standard routes. The Z Pass is going to encompass our standard routes of every day. It's not going to track, the system does not have the capabilities of tracking the activity passes, because this is going to be populated with daily routes.
Okay, so what was the activities bus then part? What was going to be on?
It's going to have the GPS on it. It's going to have the GPS on it. Yes, and that way we're able to track things if they're in an accident, or if we have to go and look where the bus is, or looking what routes and things of that sort. That's what we're going to have with those. Now, this is a work in progress. This is a 2 to 3 year step process, because there are things moving forward. The reason that Versatrans has the tablets on there, because they are somewhat compatible with what we have in our routing system. As we move forward, I would like to look into other companies that we can take what we see in our routing, and it will be sent to a tablet on the bus. So if any bus driver gets in there, and they will just touch it, and it will pull up today's route for them that we will send them to us. With Zonar and Versatrans, that is not a capability at this time. So we're looking at a system next year that we can progress into that. So there is a process going forward with this. There are other additions that are working towards this, but at this point, I don't want to have overload where we can't implement everything that we need to at this time, and I would like to be able to implement it in stages so we can make sure and get the best possible outcome out of it. So.
You mentioned a minute ago, with some things that have already been purchased. What has already been purchased along these lines?
I'm sorry?
I thought you had said something that had already been purchased, like
No.
you've already bought a
It's in the
certain.
contract.
No, ma'am. We're looking at purchase time so we can get the equipment in because we're going to have to be able to install it. And that's what I was alluding
Okay.
to. We're looking at our March 1, but there are some things that are going to have to come into place so we can make sure and hit those deadlines because there's a lot of things that are going to go into this to get this to be live on March 1. So, and that was set so we could have a trial period to make sure and get everyone accustomed to it. So when we start in August, which August is already a tough time of year for transportation, and that way it would be a smoother transition going forward.
Now, you said the Zonar Systems does not have the capability that you're wanting to go to in the future? Is that what you're saying? That they do not have the tablet capability and things?
They do, but not with the Versatrans company.
What's the Versatrans?
Versatrans is a routing system that we have now.
So.
So what is your recommendation? I mean, we have two bids, they're not
My
for the same
my
thing.
recommendation is for the Zonar system.
Okay.
But you anticipate that you may upgrade to a different system that is compatible with our routing system that we have now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir. In the future, what we would like to do is move into another routing system that's more compatible, that works with the company that we have, and that way there are going to be more additions as the tablets to be able to transfer our routes from our office digitally to the buses.
So are we gonna lose money though?
Right.
Yeah.
On buying this equipment now and it not being what we want?
And the two
that's what
quotes,
I'm trying to
the problem with getting quotes on this is that there's only a certain amount of companies that do this. So when you're pulling these, if you take the tablets off, you're looking at basically the same amount. When I price the companies, they're all about the same amount for if you're comparing apples to apples.
Well,
So,
then why don't we choose a company that's compatible with our stuff?
well, Versatrans is compatible, but it's not a company that I feel comfortable going forward with.
And Versatran?
Versatrans is Tyler Technology. That's the parent company. But there's a system that I would like to look into going forward that I feel more comfortable with that will meet LPS's needs.
What's, if Versatrans or Tyler Technology is compatible and the other one is not, you said you're not comfortable with, what are you not comfortable with that one? 'Cause that would, seems to me, I don't know, maybe I'm not understanding something, it seems to me like that would be the smarter choice if it
Yeah.
is compatible.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, the Versatrans part of it does our routing system. Okay, I'm not completely happy with the routing system that we have.
So you're wanting to change the routing system?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The routing system will be what changes. The Zonar company will stay the same with us.
And it's
What-
can
what-
work with the Zonar.
100%. It will be compatible with the system that we bring in going forward. I didn't feel, if we get too much change, I'm afraid that it's going to be tough for us to implement it, and that's why I would like to implement the GPS unit and that going forward. Then we can go ahead and implement a new routing system going forward in the next year.
Okay, I guess what I want to know is exactly what this going to do for us. It's going to tell us how fast our buses are going, if they're going too fast, where our children are, they get on and off the bus, so once somebody got off early, we would know where they were at. What else?
It's going to give transparency through the transportation department. It's going to give us efficiency to be able to see where buses are, to see why routes are running behind or running on time, or if they're getting there early, to be able to look at those numbers. It's to be able to look at other questions that we receive sometimes of busing speeding or going above speed limits, and it'll also give us a safety issue with our students to be able to track on and off and to see. We will have a populated sheet that will tell us student A, student B, student C was on this bus at this time. So it's going to give us information that we're looking for that we don't have the capabilities at this point right now.
question.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
So, Mr. Cook, the recommendation is for the Zonar, not the Tyler.
Yes, sir, I recommend that the Zonar bid for LPS.
All right.
Yes.
Anybody want to make a motion?
Move for approval.
A second.
Call roll, please.
Mrs. Walkfelder,
Yes.
Mrs. Nyworth,
Yes.
Ms. Edwards,
Yes.
Dr. Bridges,
Yes.
Mr. Jester,
Yes. Okay, item 6, architect, construction manager, risk update. Hello, gentlemen.
Good evening once again. How's everyone? I'll give a rundown of the current AIP projects, and then we'll have Crossland come up and give an update on the bond issue. For Eisenhower High School windows, we are ready to close that project out, and a final application for payment has been submitted for approval. On the Lawton High School windows, construction is about 80% complete. You'll see that they're now working on the west side and really doing some visible work for the public right now.
On Saturdays and Sundays.
Yes, well, they're working on the best days available, and they're trying to work 4/10s, and so, you know, if we have bad weather at the first part of the week, they'll start in the middle and work through the weekend.
Great.
On Carriage Hills, Tomlinson, and Lawton High re-roofs, we're working through some open punch list items on that, but I went through this week and re-inspected, just, you know, double checking that everything's done. Got a few last remaining items on those to finish up. On the Edison re-roof, still some open punch list items there and some O&M comments to be responded to. On the Adams re-roof, we're about 50% completion or more. They're really trucking through that one. MacArthur Middle School HVAC, we went through and re-inspected the punch list. I think that they've finished pretty much all the items. I'll be going through one last time this coming week on Tuesday. Woodland Hills, Lincoln, and Adams HVAC projects. Woodland Hills is at substantial completion. You'll see in the agenda further down, we've got their form to be approved.
Large punch list on that, of strange items that I don't understand.
On the Woodland Hills?
Yes, crazy stuff.
Well, a lot of it's fit and finish, and we
Well, yeah, but-
go room to room, and every scratch paint and missing piece of caulk we write down. On the Lincoln project, they're about 99% complete. They'll be ready to call for city finals next week, and we'll be following up right after that to do a punch list. MacArthur High School windows, the final application for that project has also been submitted for approval. MacArthur High Cafeteria, they are gearing up to do the kitchen hood renovations that were required by the city. They're going to do that work over the weekend going into the MLK Day break, and we'll follow up behind them with a punch list on that work. Should be wrapping it up very, very soon. Just upcoming dates on the Eisenhower project, the middle school project. Our GMP4 bids for the last remaining items, we advertised for that on January 10th. We have a pre-bid conference scheduled for the 22nd at 4:00 p.m. We have a bid opening scheduled for February 5th at 2 p.m. On the safe room projects, we'll be starting to plan for Whittier. You know, with the last bids coming in on Eisenhower, we'll know exactly what budget we have for the program at Whittier, and we'll proceed with design there. We do have some upcoming projects, and you'll see there's some contracts on the agenda farther down. District freezer and refrigerator replacement. We're revisiting that project from last year, and we've changed the scope a little bit to include the structural slab being replaced. The MacArthur High School fire alarm upgrade, plans and specs to go out to bid for that. And then also doing some work at Almore West to repair some joist seats in the gym. Y'all have any questions for me?
That got my mind, just went blank. The refrigeration deal,
Mhm.
we had visited that before, and you didn't think that that was gonna be feasible, so what has changed on that?
Yeah, we proposed a project that was going to replace the refrigerator and the freezer, and we were going to take off the housekeeping pads so that those would be flush with the floor. Once we found out that was a structural slab and it was going to increase the cost of construction and design,
Right,
we recommended that the district just try to replace those in kind directly with the manufacturer.
right.
Over the past few months, they've tried to research a project like that. The manufacturers didn't feel comfortable doing something like that. So we've gone back and we've said, okay, it looks like we need to replace the slab and provided the geotechnical engineering and the structural engineering services to do that.
Okay, I understand. Sounds good.
All right, I'll let Michael come up.
Corey, real quick.
Yes, sir.
The, while we're here, we have just a small change order on the Eisenhower Middle School fire alarm. Could you go ahead
Yes.
and share us with that?
Oh, yeah.
Very small, it's a couple $1,000s, but
Yeah, so when competitively bidding that project, we had multiple manufacturers listed as a possible fire alarm company, solution. The winning bidder is one of the only ones in the state, or maybe the only one in the state, who can work on the system that he bid to provide. We didn't like the results of that, and so for an additional, I think it was about $2,000, we'll get an open protocol system. That way, after construction, the district can choose whoever they want for the maintenance contract on that.
Good.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was a real good idea.
Yeah, I think it's money well spent.
Yeah, very, very much so. I thought. All right, thank you,
Any other
Corey.
questions? Thank you.
Good evening. I'll jump into the safe rooms, and then after that, I'll give an update on the middle school. So starting with Almer West, we're currently around 54% with the starting interior framing. The structure's up, the roof is up. So we're starting the interior framing. We're working on the HVAC, the plumbing. So we're starting to get all the underground actually stubbing up into the slab. For Edison, we're at 60%. This is actually our furthest safe room that's current right now. They're almost complete with the interior framing, so they'll get into the sheetrock after that. Again, they're done with, or getting into the roughing in of the HVAC systems, plumbing, electrical. All the doors and the louvers, the stormproof louvers are installed on the exterior, so those are good. And then the roof is on with the concrete, lightweight concrete roofs on. Woodland Hills, we're at about 49%. Currently, the interior floor slab and the roof concrete is complete, and they are starting to install the exterior doors for that one. Hugh Bish is, the roof concrete is complete. That one still has to do the interior slab. So once the weather cooperates with us a little bit, dries out a little bit, they'll be installing that. Crosby Park, structure's up, roof's gonna be placed on Monday. And then again, same thing with the interior slab. Once it all clears up, we'll knock out the remaining slabs that need to be poured. Sullivan Village is the exact same thing as Crosby Park, so they're at the same percentage, around 40%. And Heritage Hills is they're working on the roof concrete coming up. Same thing. They need to do the slab. So with all of the structures, all the panels are up and the roofs are up, so it's an actual structure now. Just the remaining slabs that still need to be poured. So with the weather has been the main thing that's been affecting the middle school and the safe rooms. So for the middle school update, are there any questions on the safe rooms update? No? Okay. So moving to Eisenhower Middle School, we've completed our first slab pour. The visitor and home lockers, that slab pour. Our second slab pour is on the 22nd. That's going to be the East Gym. We're getting ready to start steel and masonry block coming up within the next couple weeks. So that's exciting. We're about to start getting a lot of steel on site. The grade beams and piers. So grade beams have been able to start again. We've kind of spent the last week pumping out all of the grade beams, and they're actually getting ready to start. So we got another concrete pour coming up for those. We're working on getting a tracked rig out there. We were going to do a wheeled rig for the piers to drill them out. It's not going to happen. So we're going to get the tracked rig out there to make sure we can keep going on the piers. Again, with the weather, it's affected us. It's put us back. So we caught up the last time it happened. This time it happened, it's put us about a week and a half behind schedule. We still think we're okay. A week and a half isn't bad. We'll definitely be able to make that up with the oncoming work. And we'll just have to work with the weather. We do have 2 lakes out there if anyone wants to go fishing, so by all means, bring your
Did
poles.
stock it?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what we have going on currently within, I'd say, the next 30 days with steel and block going up. So if you guys have any questions,
Very
please.
excited and
Will the safe rooms be operational by storm season?
So we will have, I'll say, 3 to 4 operational by storm season. We're looking, and that, when I say storm season, I'm saying March. So around the end of March. The other ones we're anticipating around mid-April.
that'd be good.
That's good.
So if a couple of us at a time show up with our hard hats that we got at the grand opening, will you take us down and show us around?
Absolutely. All I need is a phone call, and I can schedule whatever you guys need. If you guys want to come check it out.
We'll
by
let
all
it dry
means.
out a little bit first.
Yeah.
Sure, that works. Or just bring your mud boots.
I think we really understand about the weather, so. we're-
Right.
We know how that goes.
Right.
So all of the storm shelters will be finished before school is out?
That's what we're anticipating, yes, ma'am.
All but Whittier, right?
Well,
Except
well,
for-
Whittier,
yeah.
we know about Whittier.
Yeah, Whittier, we won't.
No, Whittier, there's.
When do we start looking at the second round then, of safe rooms? Do we have a time schedule that we start for the next bunch?
Whittier is the second round.
No, after this, they would include Whittier kind of in our first bunch,
Yeah.
but when does the next round? When
We don't
start?
have any more funding in this bond for any
So
more.
it'll be like
7 was-
a year or
Yeah,
two
it would
down
be
the road?
another bond. It would have to be another bond,
Oh, okay.
unless we can squeeze
I
out
understand that. I
$1 million
understand.
here and there.
Well, you know,
Possible.
I'm good at spending that money 2 or 3 times.
Corey's gonna come in,
You know,
could get us $1 million.
Yeah,
there you go. All right.
it's not impossible.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
All
Thank you
right,
very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you,
I thought
Michael.
we had done it in, but I just thought we had set that up in, we do one. that
Well,
was my
we
thinking
know
about it.
which ones will be next.
Yeah.
We just don't have
Set
funding.
that into it.
Yeah, we've identified which ones, but
Yeah.
we don't have funding.
I thought we had.
Okay, item number 7, report of the superintendent.
Let's see. All right. Under my report, we have item 7A, consideration and action with respect to approving a professional service agreement with BOK Financial Securities Incorporated as financial advisor relative to the sale of the district's 2019 general obligation funds. And again, this has to be done every year prior to approving the sale, so I do recommend that we approve BOK Financial Services.
I make a motion we approve.
Call roll, please.
Mrs. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Dr. Bridges?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
All right, item 7B2, consideration action in respect to a resolution fixing the amount of combined purpose general obligation fund series 2019A, the bonds to mature each year, fixing the time and place the bonds will be sold, designating a registrar, paying agent for the bonds, approving the preliminary official statement and distribution thereof, authorizing the clerk to give notice of said sale as required by law, and approving the other matters related to the issuance of said bonds.
You can't speak faster than that gentleman that was standing up there earlier.
Just ask, we don't even be typing. Anyways, I'm gonna hand this off to Chris. He has a lot of reading, even more than that to do, I think.
No,
don't you?
I
You
actually don't. I'm here to answer questions. We're here in November. We went through the plan. We're just officially setting the date, time, and place where we'll receive bids. So I'm here. You also have your bond counsel, Alan Brooks over there, so.
Just to recap, last time, everything's as predicted in that area and everything is.
Correct. So we recalibrate each year. Nothing's changed since November because you'd already had the tax levies, everything go out and gotten the net assessed valuation. So with that, we're issuing the bonds that we've talked about then, which is $4 million, a little over $14 million. And we will be back the 21st with the bids. The bids are due at 1 o'clock, and we'll be back that night for the board meeting and ask you guys to award them that night. And we'll have the rates then, so.
So, do we have any questions?
We tried to do that at a lunch meeting before, but we don't have to do that.
No, not this time.
Oh, awesome.
There's actually, aren't there 2 items here, Dr. Deegan? We've got the resolution authorizing the sale, and we have a notice of the sale of bonds.
Correct.
So we have 2 separate items.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I move for the resolution of authorizing the sale of the 2019 A bonds.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Klopfelter?
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth?
Yes.
Ms. Edwards?
Yes.
Dr. Bridges?
Yes.
Mr. Jester?
Yes.
All the notice of sale bonds.
Call roll, please.
Who
I made the motion, Kelly second.
Ms. Klopfelter,
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth,
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes. Very good. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Item 7C, Superintendent's Announcements.
All right, I've got, well, first of all, it's Board Appreciation Month. And the theme is Seeds of Success, I believe. And so, as you can see, you have pots, and also you have some cards. There's a card in front of each of you that's come from one of the sites. They're in the process, so that's just the beginning. The sites are preparing those, and they're doing some other things, but we thought it'd be a good symbol to have some seeds, and I have to, some seeds that have already sprouted, but we have to give credit, Miss Duffy and the communications team put all this together. And Bedrock Nursery donated the plants, and they did all the work filling the pots, so I want to appreciate everybody. But we often forget that we plant all these seeds, and that's what the board does. We don't know whenever they're going to come up or whatever they're going to be, but I think that's a nice sentiment. But
We very much appreciate it.
Try not to
Thank you all.
I'll try to keep mine alive more than 30 days.
I've got a plan for you. I've got a plan for you. But anyways, we really do appreciate it. And again, for everybody, board members take all the risk, responsibility, and headache potentially of a superintendent with no pay. So, in addition to this, I'm going to go ahead and double your pay.
Thank
for
you.
the coming year.
I told everybody we were getting a raise this year.
This is just kind of an information item. Site leadership team meetings. I've been meeting with each site over the last month. We would have had it done before Christmas, but I messed up my calendar a little bit. And what's that's been is I've been going on site, meeting with the principal and his or her leadership team with the requirement that the cafeteria manager and the head custodian. It's been one of the best and most productive meetings I've had. I always have site meetings. I've done them in different ways. But from this, the principals and their team give me a list of needs in their sites. We've not limited on the number of the needs or the scope of the needs or argue with the need. We just want their needs. This week, we'll be getting them their second list. They'll be refining their list, getting it back, get it to the staff. And as I told each one of the site leadership teams, I'm accountable to the principal on this. I'm accountable for giving them one of four answers. One is yes, one is no. One is not now, but it's planned for the future. And then another one would be, well, we need more information before we can go any further. But I really want to applaud the principals and their site leadership teams. They've been incredible about this. Dr. Polk's accompanied him on a few of those, and it's been very enlightening. So,
Are there teachers in that group? I know you mentioned
Yes.
cafeteria and, okay.
yes, on every team, there have been teachers. They picked, I didn't identify what, I just wanted to make sure I had input from the cafeteria and the custodial.
Yeah,
But some have the counselor, some of them have, one had a parent. So it's been a very good experience. But the principal gets to decide who the leadership team is.
oh, okay.
I just wanted to make sure I had input from the cafeteria and the custodial. I
That's
don't want
good.
them to feel left out.
That's great.
But they have given us incredible insight into a lot of things and see a lot of commonalities. So it's been a lot of work, but it's been worth it.
That's awesome.
This is, I don't know if you went, I know it's Nyworth, I didn't catch any other board members there, but Miss Ellis was honored at the MLK celebration with Lawton Public Schools Lifetime Achievement Award for her 46 years of service to our district.
And gave a good speech.
Oh, great speech. Great speech. And then yesterday, Engage Oklahoma, which is Joy Hoffmeister's group, they do regional, they used to do a big meeting in the city, but they do regional meetings now. They're having it in Lawton again this July, and so they've come and toured the site. And so Lawton High School, give congratulations and thank you to the Lawton High staff. Skyla Wright has been the pilot on this and making it all happen, but we're honored that the State Department has chosen us once again. And then just, I think it's worth noting that our new governor decided to come to Lawton and hold his first inaugural event. And I think that's significant for the city, and apparently he has us on his radar.
Well, he'll be at the OSSBA board meeting this weekend to talk to us.
Okay.
So if there's any questions y'all want me to ask you, let me know.
But unless the board have any other questions, that's all I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Item number 8 is the consent agenda. Do we have any items that need to be pulled?
That usual, let me get down to it. I didn't write the number down. All right, Kathy, which one is it?
It is.
AG1.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you want me to explain the reason for this?
And then I need 8G3D pulled.
Do you want to go ahead and pull it, or do you want
3D,
Yeah,
yes.
we better pull it.
Okay.
Is that right? Yeah. No, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3D.
Consent agenda.
Before we do, I want to pull another item.
Okay.
I don't know which item it is, though.
You're looking for it.
I'm looking.
8G.
Carla, I
It is
wanted
the,
to pull the same one you did.
Yeah.
Same
The
reason.
library, I mean, the band uniform bids.
The band uniform bid.
Oh.
It's in the purchasing report.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the
Okay, that's
purchasing
right.
report?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, it
It's
was,
in,
it's in our encumbrance.
yeah, 8D1,
8D1.
yeah. Request to issue purchase orders.
Okay,
Do I
yeah.
have a motion for the rest of the consent agenda?
Well, yes, but hold on.
We're just
What was your number, Carla?
8G3D. Yep.
Okay, yes, I move for the remainder of the consent agenda.
Second.
Are you ready? Call roll, please.
Ms. Klopfelter,
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth,
Yes.
Ms. Edwards,
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes.
Okay, somebody move for G1.
Okay, I move for 8G1,
There you go.
the approval of 8G1.
I'll
Second,
second.
okay, go ahead.
Slow but sure.
Move as fast as Kathy can.
Okay.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yeah.
I second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Klopfelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth,
Abstain?
Ms. Edwards,
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes.
D1.
Okay, now we have discussion on 8G3, is that
3D.
3D?
Yeah, that's hard.
AG3D.
Yeah.
Is that the band uniforms?
No,
No.
that's
Okay.
the soccer.
Oh, I pulled up the wrong one. Let me go back. I was pulling up Digi Systems.
Okay, read the,
College Town Sports.
yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kelly. That's kind of more your area, but I just,
I'm just confused about that.
Me too.
I didn't understand the estimate and
well,
I don't see
yeah, and
pricing.
well, there was some confusion on how much you had to spend and.
Right. It's
I mean-
just not very
Yeah.
straightforward, so.
So let's see. Mr. Dees, would there be any problem if we held this till February 3rd?
Come back with some more information, yeah.
How about we just hold it
Table it.
and get some more information?
Okay,
And table this item?
8G3D.
yep.
Move to table.
College Town,
Do we need a motion and a vote for that, to table?
Yeah, move to table.
I'll move to table.
Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Klopfelter,
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth,
Yes.
Ms. Edwards,
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes. Okay, item
8D1.
8D1. Okay,
and the main reason I wanted to pull this out, Mr. Wade got this to me this afternoon.
Thank you.
About the band uniforms. It's a letter explaining, and so Mr. Wade's here if you have any questions. We're purchasing band uniforms for the first time, and
Very excited to see that. Thank you.
yes, I think the band teachers are.
Awesome.
And I wanted to make
Awesome.
sure you were comfortable and had understanding of what this letter entails. It's Mr. Wade's and Mr. D's work together. It's explanation to understand the competitive process that went into it.
Okay, my question is, I thought that when I looked at this, that they were already priced. So are we saying they're not gonna be the price that we had in here?
No, they're gonna be that.
No,
that
we,
price.
yeah, it was the
Okay.
way, you know, we had that, as Dr. Deegan can explain, the way we wanted at least 3 bids,
Right.
and we couldn't get them to give us.
I understand
They
that.
won't respond. I know.
That just. One bid, then when they went, after being told to try to get a bid.
They tried and tried.
They got a second bid from one of the companies that didn't bid going out. They only bid on Eisenhower uniforms, they bid on the other two, but the differential was about $100 a uniform. But that's how both MacArthur and Lawton High. So I think we've got by far the best deal we can
Yeah,
get.
it's due diligence, and they've waited,
Yeah.
trying to
Oh,
get this
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We gotta get them ordered if we're gonna have them next
Yeah,
fall.
you know, the rubber manufacturers out there, they really, the situation is supposed to so close you can get because not only in this situation, the company you're dealing with has got to, they've got artists, they've got design, you know,
Right.
and satisfy the individual at each of the high schools, and they have, I understand they have parents involved in the selection process and so forth, but, I think it's the best deal they can find.
And we'll have these for the fall?
Awesome, that's the plan.
We order them soon.
Oh, I mean,
If we approve it.
If we approve it tonight, I'd like to move for approval.
They are pretty. We've seen them.
Second,
There you go.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Claudio.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
You sure, Patty?
yes.
It's been so long.
Yes.
And again, thank you, Mr. Wade and
Thank
Mr.
you,
Dees,
yes.
for all the work you've done on this,
Yes.
and the band teachers, of course.
Yeah, and then December.
Okay, let's see, let me scroll down here. I guess we're to the executive session. Proposed executive session, I believe we are in need.
Yes.
Okay, I make a motion, we adjourn to executive session?
Second.
Okay.
You just want
Hold on just a moment.
Picture? Okay.
She wants a picture before.
Okay.
Ms. Claudio.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay, wait on, you need to wait 2 minutes.
She doesn't want to go.
Yeah.
Just all right.
Just be a couple minutes.
Go use the restroom.
Lynn wants to get a picture.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Claufelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes. Statement of executive session minute for January 17th, 2019. The Board of Education went into executive session at 5:52 PM. Members present included Kent Jester, President, Carla Clodfelter, Vice President, Patty Nyworth, Kelly Edwards, Dr. Lori Bridges. Others present included Tom Deegan, Superintendent, who entered at 6:07 PM. The items discussed included the employing, promoting, or receiving resignations of individual certified and support salaried personnel as listed on the certified and support personnel reports, the selection of a 10-month middle school assistant principal, the selection of executive director of media, information, technology, and communications, the routine formative evaluation of Superintendent Deegan, and related discussion of superintendent's employment contract. During the executive session, the board discussed these items and no other items, and no action was taken. The board returned to open session at 7:37 PM. This constitutes the minutes of the executive session. Okay, report of superintendent. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong
You're in the
place.
wrong spot.
Why did that thing scroll up on me while I was reading?
Because if you move that cursor, it makes things happen that shouldn't.
13A, superintendent personnel report.
Nope.
Well,
There's 4 items.
right.
Under item 13A, we have approval of certified and support personnel reports.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Claufelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes.
Under item 13B, we have approval of the selection of 10-month middle school assistant principal, and for that position, I recommend Ms. Delia Sneed.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Ms. Claufelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes.
Under item 13C, I have approval of the selection of executive director of media, information, technology, and communications, and for that, I recommend Ms. Lynn Cordes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Just a minute, I'm still trying to get out.
Sorry, Kathy, I'm going too fast.
Do it again.
We're all
Who made
hungry.
the motion?
I did. Kelly.
I seconded.
Ms. Claufelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes. Okay, item 13D, consideration and action, if any, regarding employment contract of Superintendent Deegan.
Make a motion we approve. How do we do that? Extending his contract. For 1 year. Second.
Call roll, please.
Ms. Claufelter.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes. Okay, let's see. It did it again.
You need to hyper mouse.
Yeah.
mine keeps moving too.
New business is what you're looking for.
Okay, is there any new business?
I don't think so.
What's after that? Because I still hadn't gotten there.
Next regular board meeting date?
Next regular board meeting date's February 4th. I remember that. And do we need to set any new board meeting dates?
No.
Any announcements by the board? All right,
Motion? Oh, I second.
call the roll, please.
Carla seconded, I think.
Yeah, I did.
I'm ducking, getting out of their way.
Yes.
Ms. Nyworth.
Yes.
Ms. Edwards.
Yes.
Dr. Bridges.
Yes.
Mr. Jester.
Yes.
You turn yours off.
Okay. No, that was rough going there.